Did you know that 85% of the things we worry about never actually happen? Or that ancient Roman emperors used the same mental techniques that top CEOs and athletes rely on today? Welcome to Inner Code. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful philosophies that's experiencing a massive resurgence in 2025, modern Stoicism. What is Stoicism? Before we get into the principles, let's understand what Stoicism actually is. Founded by Zeno of Citium around 300 BCE, this philosophy isn't about suppressing emotions or being indifferent to the world, as many people think. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what we can and cannot control, focusing our energy only on what's within our power. The Stoics believe that true happiness comes from cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. Historical figures like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus left teachings that remain incredibly relevant today, especially in uncertain times like ours. In 2025, with so many digital distractions, social and economic pressures, Stoicism offers a path to finding inner stability, regardless of external circumstances. Now let's see how to apply this ancient wisdom to modern challenges. Principle 1. Focus on what you can control. The first and perhaps most fundamental principle of Stoicism is the distinction between what is and isn't under our control. Epictetus said, "Some things are within our power while others are not." What depends on us? Our thoughts, our actions, our reactions, our values, and our priorities. What doesn't depend on us? The weather, the economy, other people's actions, global events, and even specific outcomes of our efforts. Let's apply this to 2025. You can't control if it rains on your outdoor event, but you can have a backup plan. You can't control if you'll get promoted, but you can control the quality of your work. You can't control negative news, but you can control how much time you spend consuming it. Here's a practical exercise. Take a piece of paper and make 2 columns. In the first, list everything that's worrying you. In the second, mark whether it's something you can or cannot control. For each item you can't control, practice consciously letting go of that worry. For items you can control, define a concrete action step. Principle 2. Negative visualization. Premeditatio malorum. The second principle might seem pessimistic at first glance, but it's incredibly powerful. The Stoics practiced what they called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils or negative visualization. This doesn't mean being pessimistic, but rather contemplating possible adversities in advance to 1. Reduce the emotional impact when they actually happen. 2. Appreciate more what you already have. 3. Be prepared with contingency plans. How to practice this in 2025. Before an important presentation, imagine what could go wrong, technical failure, difficult questions, and how you would react. Occasionally, reflect on what it would be like to lose something you value, your smartphone, your job, your health. When starting a new project, consider the possible obstacles and how you would overcome them. Seneca advised, "Rehearse poverty so that you never fear it." This practice isn't meant to make us anxious, but to make us more resilient and grateful. Principle 3. Acceptance and love of fate. The third principle is amor fati, the love of fate. Nietzsche, though not a Stoic, popularized this expression that perfectly captures the Stoic attitude. Not just accepting what happens, but embracing and loving every moment, especially the challenges. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Love only what happens to you and what is spun by fate." In 2025, with so many expectations of perfection on social media, this principle is revolutionary. When you miss an opportunity, instead of lamenting, ask, "What can I learn from this?" If your flight is delayed, instead of getting frustrated, see it as an opportunity to read, reflect, or meet someone new. When facing a health problem, seek to find purpose even in pain. Practical exercise. At the end of each day, identify something that didn't go as planned and find 3 positive aspects or lessons in that situation. Over time, you'll develop the habit of finding value in any circumstance. Principle 4. Self-discipline and moderation. The fourth principle is self-discipline and moderation. The Stoics valued self-control as the path to true freedom. Epictetus, who was a slave before becoming a philosopher, understood that even when physically limited, our mind can remain free through self-discipline. In 2025, we live in an era of instant gratification, on-demand entertainment, one-click shopping, food delivered in minutes, constant notifications demanding immediate attention. Stoic self-discipline invites us to practice voluntary discomfort, like taking cold showers or occasionally fasting. Establish clear boundaries for technology use. Delay gratifications to build mental resilience. Cultivate habits that benefit our future self. Seneca advised living simply, even when one can live luxuriously. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. This doesn't mean renouncing all pleasure, but rather not becoming a slave to desires. Principle 5. Cosmic perspective. The fifth principle is adopting a cosmic perspective. The Stoics regularly practiced contemplating the vastness of the universe and the brevity of human life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Think of the immensity of time past and time future. Against this background, how small is your tiny lifespan? How small is the little patch of earth where you live? How small is your fame, even if all men of your time should speak well of you?" This perspective helps us reduce the excessive importance we give to temporary problems, diminish ego and vanity, focus on what really matters in the grand scheme of things. In 2025, with so many concerns about social media status and FOMO, fear of missing out, this perspective is liberating. When you feel overwhelmed, try looking at the starry sky and contemplating the vastness of the universe, reflecting on how your current problem will seem in 5, 10, or 100 years. Remembering that generations lived, faced challenges, and passed before us. Practical application in daily life. Now that we know the 5 principles, how can we integrate them into our daily routine in 2025? 1. Morning practice. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes every morning to reflect on what is and isn't under your control that day. 2. Stoic journal. Dedicate a few minutes in the evening to answer questions like, what did I do well today? What could I have done better? What virtues did I practice? How did I respond to challenges? 3. Perspective breaks. During the day, when you feel anxiety or frustration, take a 30-second pause to adopt the cosmic perspective. 4. Weekly challenges. Choose a small voluntary discomfort each week, like a day without social media or a simple meal. 5. Community. Connect with others interested in Stoicism through online or in-person groups for discussion and mutual support. Conclusion. Stoicism isn't just an ancient philosophy, but a practical tool for navigating the challenges of 2025. These 5 principles focus on what we can control: negative visualization, love of fate, self-discipline, and cosmic perspective, can transform our relationship with difficulties and help us find serenity even in turbulent times. As Epictetus said, it's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them. By changing our perspective, we can change our life experience. If you found this content valuable, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share with someone who might benefit. In the next video, we'll explore how to create a vision board that actually works using the principles of the law of attraction. Until then, practice these Stoic principles and share in the comments how they've impacted your life. Thanks for watching Inner Code. See you in the next video.